It's a real privilege to be here. I want to thank Evans Harrell for the opportunity to come and talk. My talk today is, I guess I should just use the wireless here. My talk today is going to contain a lot of math and at the same time contain absolutely no math. So I hope Martin Gardner would appreciate that little paradox. You know, we've been hearing all weekend about sort of fun and interesting ways that mathematics intersects with a lot of different arts, with dance, with music, with literature, with painting and sculpture and design. And today I want to talk about how math intersects with what is sometimes often called the lowest form of art, which is comedy. I think I've been doing stand-up and improv comedy for decades now and teaching and performing. And along the way, I've written jokes that I think really I can't use in a typical bar or a nightclub, but I think this is just the audience for them. So I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm a faculty member in the School of Math at Georgia Tech. I'm also in the administration, so please don't hold that against me. I'm married to a mathematician, and I just want to say that I think my wife is absolutely beautiful, which of course means that even if you rearrange her, she's still beautiful. We got married, we exchanged rings, I gave her the integers, she gave me continuous functions on 0, 1. Our math friends were a little worried when they heard that because they thought it was not going to be a successful marriage because we had different ideals. But I have 3 daughters. It's true, we had a first daughter, then we had twins, and then we had to stop because we weren't sure if it was an arithmetic or a geometric progression. Either way, my wife said no to the 3rd pregnancy, so when I was a kid, I was always interested in math. My mom was really into logic. She liked to state things in the contrapositive. I remember her saying, she used to sing us folk songs, you know. If I didn't hammer in the morning, if I didn't hammer in the evening, if I didn't hammer all over this land, I wouldn't have a hammer. And so she taught me a lot about logic. I remember, the one thing I always remember, she told me, you know, you either believe in the law of the excluded middle or you don't. This is the only time that joke has ever got a laugh. I interpreted everything mathematically as a kid. I remember walking through the mall in middle school. I saw a sign outside the Victoria's Secret lingerie shop, said all bras 50% off. I walked in, I was very excited. I expected all the women to have one boob hanging out. 14-year-old me was very disappointed. I've continued my mathematical education in graduate school. I initially, I failed my first time I tried my oral exam in algebra. I tried asking for partial credit because, I thought I understood the material. I just made stupid algebra mistakes. But it wasn't an easy exam. They gave me 2 groups. They said, are these groups isomorphic? I said, that one is, but that one is definitely not. I actually kind of misunderstood one of the questions, too. They asked me to prove that every principal ideal domain was a unique factorization domain, which, algebra class, that's a standard result in undergraduate abstract algebra. Every PID is a UFD. I misheard them. I proved that every IUD is a UFO. So also a theorem, by the way, but a very different proof. And since we're at G4G14, I just wanted to let you know that was my 14th joke. And that was my 15th joke. And now you know the rest of my set by induction. All right. I actually love induction. When I was a kid, I proved that you can eat infinitely many M&Ms because obviously you can eat one M&M. And if you can eat n M&Ms, you can eat n plus 1 M&Ms. I mean, let's just be real. It's QED. I learned in graduate school to apply a lot of mathematics outside of my research. I learned when I was teaching that if you take 5 black balls and 9 red balls and you put them in a sack and you draw out 6 balls at random, there's a 93% chance you are trapped in a word problem. Because nobody ever does that. I use math to balance my checkbook. I realized that you can use complex numbers to balance your checkbook. You've got the real part, that's what the bank thinks you have. And then you've got the imaginary part, which is what you can spend. It's completely independent. I started doing my comedy back in graduate school. My first math jokes weren't very successful. Why did the chicken cross the Mobius strip? To get to the other, no wait, that doesn't work. But I got better. I dreamed last night I published a paper with Paul Erdős, so now my Erdős number is 4 plus I. Yeah, I know I'm running out of time here, so let me close up with a couple quick impressions. This is my impression of Robert Kennedy in geometry class. Some people look at this axis and they say, why? I distinguish a specific point on the axis and I say, why not? All right. Thank you. Okay, I got just a little bit of time left. I want to do a final impression here. This is my impression of a cheerleader in 8 dimensions. Ready? Okay. We'll put you to the test. We're better than the rest. We're gonna be the best. We're never gonna... My arms are still moving. They're just orthogonal to your 3 right now, so you can't see that plane. Thank you. All right. I've got 10 to the 6th of them, but I've got to go. So I am available to perform at conferences and colloquium and circumcisions, all of which typically need a little more humor. And so thank you very much. My name is Lefton.